Hey guys, it is Mickey. If you're seeing this message, it's because I had sent you a private message on Facebook about my son Billy. Some of you have known Billy for many years or just know me. And this has been a very, very rough struggle for our family for most of his life. Billy suffers from borderline personality disorder, and along with PTSD and substance abuse that is used for coping mechanisms to deal with his disorder. I included a bunch of links that describe the medical reasons and information about BPD. And we are doing everything in our power to try and get Billy to a facility in Austin, Texas. So this is just a general information about where we are and how we got here. Many of you know that we were on a nationwide television show looking for help for Billy a few years ago. And that was a very embarrassing thing for our family to have to go through. But at the time, we did not realize that Billy was suffering with BPD. He had been misdiagnosed most of his life. And so he was having a bout, I would call it a crisis or a manic situation that we did not know that was actually the disease. And so when we called to have help, it seemed like we had just like a kid out of control with his behavior. He was drinking out of control. He was doing drugs. He was self-harming. He was posting things erratically on social media. He was having major problems with his personal life, with friends and family and stuff like that. And so we just thought he was out of control. After going on the show, he was able to get a diagnosis for BPD, and he started therapy. And it did help enough to get him to CRAS, a musical engineering school in Arizona. However, while he was there, he had another fall, and he suffered, and he had a couple months where he had to stop going to school, and then we had to find him better care. The problem with BPD is that it's such a, mental illness is such a hard thing to try and find the right type of medication or therapy process that it makes it really difficult to try and function in regular life along with trying to do your recovery. We did not want to put him in an inpatient program because we felt like that would never do any help, because we had done it years ago when he was younger, and it never seemed to help. And I think maybe most of it was because he had constantly been misdiagnosed. So he did get really good care, which helped him finish school. And so we were really excited about his future moving to Los Angeles and doing an internship. Well, within 3 months, he had stopped having his therapy program, and that sent him into another spiral. The pressures of a new environment, living out there on his own, trying to get his life back on track, along with still not fully recovered or learning how to deal with his disease, sent him into another spiral. And then we found out around Christmas time that he had been living in his car in Burbank, basically homeless, and self-harming was out of control. The alcohol and drugs were out of control, and so we had him come home. He has come home, and he was doing okay for a while, but now he's back in another crisis mode again. He is basically self-medicating to try and deal with all the noise that's up in his head, and he can't deal with it. So we have looked into several options for him, And unfortunately, here in the state of Kansas, there's only one other facility that might be able to help him. But the one that we found that would be dealing with all of the issues that he has, which is his PTSD from things that happened to him when he was young, his identity crisis issues, his self-harming mutilation, it's just so bad, along with the substance abuse and everything that we found this facility down in Austin, Texas. Now, our insurance doesn't cover for a lot of the care, so we have to come up with financial funds out of our pocket. And this is where we have, unfortunately, had to reach out to friends and family, because we're at this point now where I don't think we're going to be able to help him, get him the right help he needs. I am asking you guys if you could possibly leave any kind of a donation. We would be so grateful to help get him there and at least get the process started. We're looking into doing some other financial means ourselves. And I'm sorry I'm crying. It's just, I feel like there's no other alternative at this point. And I wanted to make this more fancy or professional, but I just don't have the time. I'm in crisis mode trying to figure out how to get him there. So anyway, if we could just at least get him started, and then we can work towards the other part of it ourselves or keep the fundraising open. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're going to have to hire an interventionist, which we've already spoken with them. We've spoken with the team down in Texas and at the facility, and we really feel like an inpatient program where he can't just leave after 3 days, that he's signing over and saying he will stay at the minimum 30 days for detoxification as well as intensive therapy will help get him to the next step. So we're going to just keep this going in that process, but we need to get the funds to be able to get it going immediately. And unfortunately, right now, that is over $40,000 on top of the insurance that we have for him as well. So at the very least, if you can't financially help us out, I totally understand, especially during these times. Please try and share it with someone that you think could help us out. We do not want this to go publicly, so please don't post it publicly on any of your social media pages, because if he finds out that we're doing it this way, it could trigger him into another situation. He is very suicidal right now. He talks about it every day. He is, I don't even know how to explain. I will do another video so I can explain to you what he's going through so that you kind of understand where he's at. That it's not just a kid suffering from drugs and alcohol. There's so much more involved. And then, of course, send your prayers, because I'm tired of watching him suffer. He suffered so much. So this is kind of a quick little video. Thank you for watching, and I'll post up another video here in a little bit for you to be able to understand a little bit more about what it is, or what it has been like having him suffer with BPD and the research I found about it, and kind of explain what it means. I love you guys, and I thank you.